What do you say? What do you know? It's the Team NBS halftime show, AFC halftime show. I am your host, Monty Perez, aka the Sports Whisperer. Want to thank everyone for watching our first halftime show. Make sure to give us a thumbs up, like, and subscribe to the Team NBS YouTube channel. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. They are going to the Super Bowl for the first time since that legendary game against the New England Patriots where they beat Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. But we don't want to talk about the Eagles anymore. We want to move forward now, and let's bring on the Team NBS crew. Brock, Jalen, and Joe, how are you guys doing?
Fantastic, Monty. Good football game going on.
Very good football game. Let me start with this, guys. Just a simple question. I'll throw this out there. Who does more commercials, the Manning brothers or Shaq? I'm sick of seeing these guys. I mean, every football commercial is the Manning brothers. Every basketball commercial. The Shaq, really? You think he uses the General Auto Insurance? Come on. All right, let's move on to this. Joe, we'll start with you. As a former coach, the one thing I took pride in is I never let the best player beat me. Last possession of the game, I'd let them inbound the ball, whoever the best player was, and then I'd go double team him. So he has to pass the ball, and that person has to think. I'm going to play this video right here. I'm shocked. That's not, hold on, this is it. This is it right here. Joe, how is Travis Kelce always open on the 4th and 1 play? As on the opening drive, the one thing you want to do is take him away. Joe, how does this keep happening?
He's just that good. I mean, he does it against everybody. They're not the Cincinnati Bengals are not the first team to feel the pressure and feel what Travis Kelce can do. He does it against everyone. But I agree with you, Monty. He's not just open. He's always wide open. There's like nobody around him for 5-10 yards. And you would think during the week at meetings and practices, you listen to all the talking heads, all they talk about is Travis Kelce. Yet when it's game time, he's just always wide open, man. It's incredible, actually.
Yeah, very nice job by Team NBS, as Andrea says here with the opening. Guys did a great job with that. All right, Jalen, we talked about this on my show Saturday. Why aren't they applying more pressure to Patrick Mahomes? He's not 100%. I would blitz him up the middle. What's going on?
Well, they're utilizing the quick passes, and just, like Joe said, when you have guys like Travis Kelce that are wide open, it doesn't matter if you blitz him. He just toss it right before he gets hit.
Are you shocked at how good Patrick Mahomes has looked despite, I would say he's only 60, 70%.
I'm not shocked at all how good he's looking. I mean, he was what? Like who would be shocked? We saw him; he was walking fine before pregame. He's been practicing. I mean, his ankle is obviously looking good. He's been moving around a little bit. I'm not shocked at all.
All right, Brock. One of the things that was a concern going into Buffalo, and it never really panned out, was the Buffalo Bills applying pressure to Joe Burrow, because we know that the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line is banged up.
Yeah, I mean, if you look clearly right there, there's one big thing, and that's the fact that Kansas City has its star in Chris Jones and Buffalo didn't have its star in Von Miller. Also, when you look across the line in terms of talent, Kansas City has a much better defensive line than Buffalo does. They have a really young stud in George Karlaftis, who fell to them in the draft. I felt he should have been a much higher pick. Frank Clark, though he does get hated on because he, quote-unquote, hasn't lived up to expectations, has been one of the centerpieces that's allowed Kansas City to be dominant ever since he's gotten there. It's just a situation of one team having its stars and the other team not having its main star, and then its surrounding pieces not being as good as the other teams. Definitely not surprising they're able to get this with pressure on Joe Burrow.
One of the things we saw in the first game, Joe, was Philadelphia's ability to dominate the running game. Right now, I'm looking at the stats here. 19 yards rushing for the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's go to Jalen, and then I'll ask the same question about how Kansas City kind of abandoned the run. Jalen, you said that the dual threat running back and Perine and Mixon got to get it going. They haven't done it so far.
Yeah, and our running game has pretty much been up and down pretty much all season. And with how bad the offensive line is looking, I mean, they're pretty much rotating door out there. Not being able to run the ball is, yeah, the game's going to be over. They can't get it figured out in the second half.
Joe, I said this early on. I don't know. Obviously, injuries have slowed down Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I never
Yeah.
seen a running back in 2 years be so dominant and then go to the doghouse. But I'm looking at what they're doing right now, Kansas City. Pacheco has 9 yards. Hardman has 7. They can't run the ball either, Joe.
Yeah, now the Cincinnati Bengals defense is legit, and I think they've proven that the last couple of weeks, making it really, really tough for Kansas City to run the ball. But I think that if you see some toss plays, a couple of misdirections, some sweeps, kind of try to make that Bengals defense go from sideline to sideline, maybe tire them out a little bit. But you can't completely abandon the run and make Patrick Mahomes, who we know is not 100%, go back there and throw the ball 35, 40 times. I mean, if anybody can do it, it's Patrick Mahomes. Don't get me wrong. But in now this situation, you want to be able to run the ball and get some balance offensively.
Brock, what do you do now if you're the Chiefs? Obviously, you're feeling good. You're up 13-6, but I think they were up 21-10 last year at halftime in this game as well. Not playing your best football, but I think holding them, the Bengals, to a field goal there at the end of the half is definitely something that they could build on. What do you tell, if you're Andy Reid, what do you tell your Chief players who are not going to panic because they're super experienced?
Just stay the course. The lack of going for fourth down situations is a great benefit to Kansas City because they're one of the worst teams in terms of third and short and fourth and short situations in the NFL. Kicking up this game that could come down to field goals, clearly, right? Bengals have been able to punch it in. Kansas City only punched it in one time, and that was through a real kind of knick-knacky play with Travis Kelce. Right now, you have stars all over the field outside of Kelce. That's why he keeps getting open. Marquez Valdez-Scantling has been an absolute in resurgent mode this season, so keep hitting him. Juju Smith-Schuster still has solid hands. Keep hitting him for your medium to short passes. And just let your playmakers make plays. Patrick Mahomes needs to turn from being Mahomes into being a more ball distributor, which he has done in various situations and he's doing right now. Stay the course with that and let your defense do the work, and everything will be okay. The only concern I have right now is if you looked at the sideline at the end of the first half, Chris Jones was huffing and puffing. It's going to be very interesting to see if the Kansas City defense will be able to keep up physically with Cincinnati, or will they melt down like how they did last time they played the AFC Championship game.
Jalen, same question here. I'd be a little concerned if I'm the Bengals. We praised their head coach for the game plan against Buffalo, but one of the things that I was so fearful of is playing Andy Reid a fourth time, going in thinking human nature. We pounded these guys 3 times. We won 3 times. We don't need to change. They need to. So far, Kansas City has adjusted, and this Bengal offense, even though they look dominant in the snow in Buffalo, they look like a mere shell of themselves. What do they need to do to change things around?
Well, first, to your point, it happens when you talk trash all week, talking about Burrowhead, and you get another team hyped up in their own stadium. You see what happens, you come out, you get punched in the mouth. And that's pretty much what the Chiefs did in the first half. Now, what they need to do is they need to figure out how to, create a good pass block to get Burrow enough time to get to his targets. When you've seen in the last drive, when he's getting time, he can hit his targets, but he just needs that time. And they also need to establish the run game. And first, coming out in the second half, the Chiefs are going to get the ball. The Bengals need a big stop. They need to get them 3 and out, or they just need a big turnover in the second half to sway the tides.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is the Bengals do get the ball to start the second half. So, no, did the Chiefs get the ball?
The Chiefs get the ball to start.
Chiefs get the ball. Right. That's why that field goal was so important, because you want to make it a 1-possession game. Joe, here's what I do if I'm the Chiefs in the second half. First possession, I throw everything at them. If you have Travis Kelce in the Wildcat, double reverses, do everything you can. No, because hear me out. I want to score and put the pressure and make Joe Burrow one-dimensional. We saw last week how effective they are against the Bills when they run the ball. But if you go up and you score and you go up 2 possessions now you're kind of thinking, okay, they're going to have to throw, and that plays into the aggressive Chiefs pass rush. The Chiefs had 55 sacks this year, second in the NFL. So if I'm the Chiefs right here coming out, I'm going to be super aggressive.
Well, I would counter that, and I'd agree with Brock's point about the Chris Jones huffing and puffing. If I'm Cincinnati, we just saw in that last drive, 2-minute drill, how effective they were. I go hurry up the rest of the game. put the pressure on the KC defense, make those guys run around. Burrow's highly effective at that, has been proven. You hope that Boyd can come back and shake off the injury we saw him with. That would be my counter from the Cincinnati Bengals. From here on out, we're going hurry up, 2-minute offense the rest of the game, put the pressure on them. Because let's say Kansas City does score. I still have enough faith in Joe Burrow to make a couple of plays and for that Cincinnati defense to make at least one play to keep you in the game. I wouldn't necessarily say a Chiefs score means game over, but I'd go hurry up the rest of the game.
Jamar Chase, Jalen, 4 catches, 37 yards, not getting the big play there. Would you try to get him going early in offense so it opens up the middle, opens up for Hurst and other wide receivers? Because right now, 4 catches, 37 yards is if I'm the Chiefs, I'm super happy with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got to get Jamar Chase going, but the big problem that's holding the Bengals pass catchers back is that the Bengals offensive line can't block. And as long as the Bengals offensive line can't block, you can't hit your targets. It doesn't matter who you got at quarterback.
Brock, okay, so last year we saw the Bengals coaching staff dominate the second half. So they're going to be confident here. But you and Joe both said you can't beat Andy Reid 4 straight times. Are you more confident now that the Chiefs are going to win this game than when you were going in when you thought they were going to win?
I'm not. I'm kind of on the same if leaning towards a Bengals comeback. And the reason because the Chiefs have clearly shown they can establish the run, which is something that you need to do in order to close out football games. The Bengals know how to make great second half adjustments. And despite having offensive minds at the head coaching position, the biggest strength is the defensive mind. And Amarillo, not Amarillo.
I don't remember.
I can't say it. Thank you.
Yeah.
When it comes to names, it's a wrap, right? Exactly. And, at the same time, Zach Taylor right now, he's down by 7 points. Chiefs get the ball. He's really playing with house money. He's got nothing to lose because he's already beaten the Buffalo Bills. He's already won a second straight AFC North title. Like, he's basically solidified his self as a head coach of the Bengals for a while. He already signed the extension in the offseason. So I'm expecting him to come out and do some things that are very aggressive. Don't be surprised if they come out and try to kick it onside. Don't be surprised if they put on the blitz. Don't be surprised if they want to make Patrick Mahomes go down hard and early in the second half. Really kind of push the pedal and attack these Bengals. And I'm not sure Andy Reid and co are going to be able to handle it. So that's why I'm still leaning towards I'm not as confident as I was before the game.
Joe, I know the Chiefs' 5 straight AFC championships are impervious to feeling the pressure. It seems like, last year, 13 seconds, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes come down against the Bills. But if they fall behind here late in the fourth quarter and they're facing a team that beat them 3 straight times, do you think they'll start feeling the pressure and maybe, making mistakes like we saw? Obviously, San Francisco had a meltdown because they were just not – they were getting pushed around at their game. Will the Chiefs start to feel the pressure here?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you just talked about it. 5 straight AFC championship games, all at home. You've been to a Super Bowl twice. You won one, you lost one. You have a generational quarterback you're paying $500 million to. And we live in the social media era where people are going to be online with the quickness if that game goes final and the Chiefs lose. So, yeah, without a doubt, they'll be feeling the pressure for sure.
Jalen, this is where Joe Cool comes into play, right? They didn't have a great first half. They've only scored 6 points. He got hit a ton. In the first couple of drives, it looked like he was really, really just trying to survive out there. But this is where Joe Cool comes into play. How confident are you right now?
I am. I'm not that confident, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm not that confident, but I do believe in Joe Burrow coming out and making plays in the second half. The Bengals have been great at second half adjustments, but man, with all that's happened in the first half, I'm kind of thankful the score is 13-6 and not like 21-6. So
yeah, listen, if I'm a Bengal fan, I'm like, look, this happened to us last year. We played a terrible half. Joe Burrow threw an interception. I think it was his first interception in 122 passing attempts in the playoffs.
Yep.
All right, Joe, it's starting right now. Give us a score. Who wins and why?
Oh, man, I'm going to flip everything. I'm going to say Cincinnati, and I'm going to go with a 28-24 victory. The offenses heat up in the second half.
Brock?
Oh, I got to stick with Kansas City, 21-15.
Jalen?
Yeah, I'm not that. I don't have that much faith, but I'm still just gonna stick with my Bengals 23-20.
All right, I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm flipping just like Joe did, just to make it safe. Because at the start of the season, I had them going to the Super Bowl. I think Patrick Mahomes is healthy enough, and if they don't double team Travis Kelce, it's over. So I think the Chiefs win. They play the Eagles, and I think the Eagles by far are the best team, and they'll win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes you mad, Joe, as a Washington fan, right?
No, not at all.
No,
Yeah,
it
I'm
doesn't
a
does.
Washington
It
fan. I
definitely
have
does.
no right to get mad. Our organization's a joke. So
But Joe, you're a fan of Jalen Hurts, correct?
yeah, for sure.
Okay. Brock, who would win the Super Bowl? The Eagles or one of these two teams?
I would say the Eagles right now, too much depth, and their offense is just too versatile.
Jalen?
Yeah, absolutely. The Eagles, most complete team in the NFL. Nobody can line up against them.
And you know what? I said it early too. They deserve to win this game. I know it sucks being a fourth-string quarterback for San Francisco and having, but let's be honest. The Eagles and the Chiefs, if you look at it from start to finish, have been the best team. Yes, the Bengals have won 10 in a row and came on the second half, but from start to finish, they've been the most consistent. And what I loved about the Eagles, they had all 22 starters healthy. That's a big part in winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I can agree with that statement for sure.
All right, Joe, close us out for Team NBS. Just tell new followers, people watching right now, how you can follow and support Team NBS Media.
You can follow us on all social media platforms. Just look up Team NBS Media, or you can go to our website, teamnbsmedia.com, and we cover it all. Sports is definitely the main thing, but not the only thing. Entertainment, movies, music, lifestyle, even dabble on a little politics. Definitely make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find our podcast same way. Just search Team NBS Media, and we're on all platforms: iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify. We're kind of everywhere, all across the country.
I see Jalen keep looking at the TV, so we're going to let him go. Enjoy the
No.
second half. Guys, thanks so much for taking the time out and joining us at halftime. All the people watching, and especially you three guys. I know it's not easy to break up your day and do the halftime show. Really appreciate it. We'll see you down the road.
Absolutely, man. Guys, enjoy the second half.